Well, hey there, friends, it's Chris from the Rate the Record podcast, and it is indeed that time of the week again to do a new music review. I kind of didn't do one for a few weeks there, but I'm back, and just to prove that I'm back, I did at least 4 songs this time instead of 3. I always usually do 3. Did 4 this time just to make up a little bit of lost space there, because obviously I missed quite a few weeks of new music. Regardless, I'm going to review them, I'm going to tell you what I think about them, and I want to hear your opinions about it too, because that's how this whole music commentary thing works. Sounds like fun? Cool, we can get started in just a minute. Because first I'm going to step over here and remind you that if you like what you see and or hear today, please make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, and follow, all those really fun things that really help out the channel. It means the world to me. Thank you very much if you choose to do so. And without further ado, let's talk about some new music. So first up on the list today, we have the band Viagra Boys, and they have a brand new single that just dropped from their upcoming album Viagra Boys. And the song is called The Bog Body. And this one has a really grimy and punky texture to it that I actually think is pretty cool. I think it works really well. It feels like it could have gone a bit harder, but I still think everything in this song actually works. There's even some subtle experimental layers buried in the mix to the verses that I thought was pretty cool, and something of like an avant-garde-ish kind of solo with the guitar and I think some horns in there as well. That really ended up feeling weird, but it's a really cool addition to the track. I think it kind of suits what's going on. So overall, I can say it's a fun track. I actually really dug it. It's short, it's punchy, it's dirty sounding, and that just kind of adds more to the appeal of the song overall. And I mean, that's kind of what the band has been presenting up to this point. So hey, you know what? I dig it. I'm here for it. Second on the list today, we have the band Pigs, or you can just call them Pigs X7 if you want. Regardless, they have a new song out called Glib Tongued, and it features rapper LP. A bit of a menacing feel to this one, which obviously I'm going to dig because with other reviews I've gotten into before, I can tell you that the menacing kind of growling stuff I really like when it comes to the instrumentals at the very least. You got that low, crunchy bass on these dissonant and tension-filled guitar layers I think act really, really well together. And then yeah, LP does make an appearance in the second verse. The first verse is obviously sang by the singer. LP comes in the second verse and almost makes the track feel completely different, like almost changes up the style completely just by rapping on top of what's been going on. But at the same time, I still think it works pretty well. I appreciate what's there, and I'm also a fan of LP, so that was just kind of a nice addition. The payoff towards the end of the song is actually pretty decent enough, I will say that. It's this like last burst of heavy, crunchy energy to send everything off on. It does end rather abruptly, which I wasn't huge on. I wish it kind of had more of a drag out or just even a fade out or something along the lines of that, but it's still good, it's fine. And overall, I'll leave it right there. It's a decent track. I did enjoy this one. It's kind of like if Idols was like a sludgier kind of band, and I know just making that comparison is going to piss some people off, I understand. But at the same time, that's just how I feel. Sorry. I like both, so I mean, is that better? Is that good? Next up on the list today, we have the band Mother, who also have a brand new single out from an upcoming album as well, and it's called Make Believe. And there's definitely things I like about this track, and others that just kind of fell through for me. The sharp, punchy drums are really great. I love the tone of them, it sounds fantastic. And the low, buzzy bass and guitars have a great sound to them as well. But I think overall, the sound of the track just kind of feels a little flat. I feel like there's a lot of open space in this track that could have been filled by something else, like even like a quieter, like atmospheric kind of background. Not that it has to be like a drifty, dreamy kind of thing, but just something to fill the space. It just felt really empty in some portions of the track, so that's kind of unfortunate. Overall, it is a fun, bouncy track, I can give it that, but I'm not huge on it, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that I don't like the song. Not really into it, but I don't hate it. I'm kind of in the middle with this one, so we'll see how my opinion changes day after day. And finally on the list today, oh my god, we have a monster of a song for you. Swans is back. Legendary experimental band Swans is back. Brand new album on the way. And they released a 19-minute and 17-second song called I Am a Tower. So here's how this one's gonna work. This one's kind of a trip. Because of how long it is, I'm just gonna break it down in sections here. That's the best way I can try to review a track like this. So bear with me here, let's get through it. So the first 3 minutes and 42 seconds is a very ominous, droning set piece that has like this mantra of just saying, I alone will fix it, like over and over and over again. So it feels really strange, and the there's a lot of building in here, and you're just waiting for that break to come. It's very unsettling, but it definitely has a lot of intrigue to it, so it at least keeps you around for that long. From 3:43 onwards, the droning does continue, but then we have frontman Michael Gira come in doing a very long spoken word piece that has very metaphorical sexual tones all over it, just kind of like reading through the lyrics and understanding that there are definitely metaphors in there. I think you can kind of piece them together as you're going along, but it's definitely there. From 7 minutes and 3 seconds, it gets pretty intense, with the droning having a lot more of like this striking and manic energy about it. And the building to this point just feels like it's reaching like a fever pitch, and we're finally starting to approach the halfway point, so you know it's going to be paying off at some point. From 8 minutes and 24 seconds, the chaos is actually kind of pulled back piece by piece until we're in this very ominous but warm feeling atmospheric kind of track. That's followed up by some choir-like vocals that come in that are doing that I alone will fix it refrain like over and over and over again. It becomes something of like a dizzying mantra after a while, so as you're listening to it, you just kind of get hypnotized by it. Now, from the 12-minute and 58-second point is when the song just essentially turns into a very long, drawn-out version of Heroes by David Bowie. I don't say that as an insult. I like that song. As a matter of fact, if I just turn around here, I do happen to have a David Bowie Heroes poster directly behind me. I'll take the graphic off the screen for a second so you can see, look, David Bowie Heroes. So, like, listen, I don't 100% mean that, obviously, because this one still stands on its own, but I think a lot of it comes from the wailing guitar and the overall pace of the track as well, or this part of the track definitely kind of gave me those vibes of Heroes, so hey, that's cool. I like Swans, I also like David Bowie, I like Heroes, so that's a compliment, really. From the 16-minute and 56-second point of the song is where it finally brings us all the way to the end with this very, I don't know, long, grand, drawn-out drone that I can only imagine would almost feel like a religious experience if you saw it live. Like, I can just see it building and building and building, and then Michael on stage just waving his hands, like, just doing... If you've ever, like, seen a Swans performance on the computer or in person, it's a pretty intense experience, so I can only imagine this is what it would be like. And overall, that's the entire song. It is a very, very long song. I dig it. I can't imagine how many times I'm gonna want to go back and listen to this one. You gotta be in the mood for it. This reminds me all over again of the song The Names of the Plague by Springtime, one of the first NMRs I ever did. That was like a 15-minute intense track, and I really like it. I go back to it like once a year, so maybe this will end up being that kind of song. So if you have the time and you're in the mood for it, you're in the mood to go on a bit of a trip, this one might be for you. I'd suggest checking it out at least once. Oh, and that review was so long I couldn't get to the 5th track I wanted to do. Son of a bitch, I don't know. I didn't really have time to review it, but there's this band Frail State. They just released a brand new song called The Shell, a very noisy industrial rock track. So I don't know, I don't have time to talk about it, but if you want to check it out yourself, I'll leave it in the description below. If you want to go check out that song, go check out Frail State and The Shell, the brand new song that just dropped. It's in the comments below or description below. Go check it out. Self-promoting whore. Anyways, that's all I have time for today on the New Music Review, so thank you very much for joining me and hanging out and listening to these songs. And if you did indeed listen to these songs, do me a favor down in the comments below. Please let me know what you thought about these songs. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you agree or disagree with me? What other new songs you've been listening to lately? Very curious to hear your opinions on that too. Please, down in the comments, let me know what you've been up to. And of course, like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, follow, those fun things that the algorithmic gods need me to repeat for you, so please do that as well. And also, the best part is you can find all the places to do those things over at ratetherecord.ca. That is ratetherecord.ca. Streaming links, social media links, the RTR album chart, and of course, the RTR Club is there. $3 a month, early access episodes, request album for the show, shout out on social media, and blah, blah, blah. Go check it out. I'm running out of breath, so just, if that sounds interesting to you at all, I'm a great salesman. Ratetherecord.ca. Now, obviously, I haven't done one of these NMRs in a while, so I've released a few things since then. I can't remember the last time I did one. Just in case I'm missing anything there, Queens of Stone Age Song for the Deaf came out. I think that was episode 127. Evanescence came out at some point. I think that was 128. The Naked and Famous, 129. And just very recently, this past Monday, Radiohead with episode 130. And they were celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Bends. So by all means, go back and check out those episodes if you haven't seen them yet. Very interesting to get into some things that I either haven't heard in a long time or haven't heard at all, so that was very cool. And this Monday, episode 131, I can tell you right now, we're going back to the 80s. And that's actually kind of a pun because it's one of the bigger hits on this particular album. We're taking a look at Killing Joke and their 1985 album, Nighttime. That's what I was going to say, Killing Time. That's wrong. It's called Nighttime by Killing Joke. So come back for that one. It's great. I love Killing Joke, so I was very excited to finally do this album. I've wanted to do it for a while, so I hope you'll join me then. Other than that, that's all I have to say, so one more time, thank you very much for joining me and making it this far through the video. So until then, go listen to even more awesome music, and I'll see you on Monday for the podcast. Take care, friends.